Hello, and welcome to Crossing Bridges, the talk show. I'm your host, Larry Montgomery Sr. My co-host is, he's out there somewhere. Hopefully, he'll join me in the studio soon. William Montgomery Jr. Well, not Jr. William Montgomery, my son, and we're trying to see if we can bring a guest in. Seems like every week there's some sort of technical difficulties, but that's life. Anyway, this week's conversation, which we want to focus on some of the topics that we talked about last week, which was the tongue. Yeah, the tongue is a powerful weapon capable of healing and harming. And I'm going to take the next 5 minutes and read to you an excerpt from the book entitled The Biblical Guide to Quenching a Fiery Tongue and Managing Your Spoken Word Count. Let me read that again. The title of the book is The Biblical Guide to Quenching a Fiery Tongue and Managing Your Spoken Word Count. And it's a book that I've written. It's available in ebook format, and you can find it on my website at theauthor'scorner.online. That's theauthor'scorner.online. And let me just check the studio to see if my son is in yet. He's not in yet. Uh, so let's try to bring to share the screen. In the interim, share the screen and put the book up. Hold up. Put the book up. Book. Here's the book. Is it on the screen? No, it ain't. Hold on. Window. Let's see. Is it on the screen? Let's do this. Let's get back. There it is. And I want to share that. It's sharing, but it's not on the screen. Hold on. I'm bringing it up, and it just won't act right. Now I got it. Still waiting for Will, but in the interim, let me see if I can actually read this. And I have my glasses on. I do. But I'm going to read it anyway. Will, you're still blank. And you're gone. Okay, anyway, let's get going here. Don't underestimate the power of the tongue. And this is an article by Arlene Pelican, and this was from October 2016. I think it's important right now. No human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. And this is found in James 3 and 8, the New International Version. And she writes, when I was in elementary school, I didn't like recess. In fact, I dreaded recess because of a certain little boy. I would be playing peacefully with other girls, and out of nowhere, the brown-eyed boy with the big mouth would appear. China girl, he yelled, chasing me around. I'd quickly retreat to the girls' bathroom to escape the embarrassment. There weren't many Chinese girls in my elementary school. I didn't want to be different. I wanted to fit in. Recess reminded me I didn't fit in. I used to think dyeing my hair brown would resolve all my problems. I never tried it, but I thought about it a lot. Because of those two words spoken to me, China girl, I became insecure about my God given race. I didn't eat Chinese food, I ate pizza and hamburgers. At a young age, I was experiencing the power of others' words to influence my thoughts and behavior. The words we speak hold great potential both to harm and to heal. Our key verse reminds us of the enormous power yielded by the tiny muscle, the tongue. The Bible tells us the tongue is untamable, restlessly evil, and full of deadly poison. My big thigh muscle hasn't injured too many, but my tiny tongue, that's another story. In James chapter 3, James contrasts sizes in his three analogies about the tongue. A horse's bit turns its whole body. Small rotors direct large ships, and a little flame can ignite a great forest fire. The recurring theme, don't be deceived. Although very small, the tongue is powerful and should not be underestimated in its ability to do harm. If I am singing God's praises Sunday morning at church, but spreading juicy gossip on Monday morning, something is wrong with my heart, and it shows through the words that pass by my tongue. I don't become saved by the words I speak. Salvation is through Christ alone. But because I am saved, my words are supposed to reflect the presence of Jesus in my life. The same mouth should not produce praise and cursing. For example, an apple tree produces apples. It doesn't produce apples and oranges. Following Jesus is an all in endeavor. You can't produce apples and oranges, blessings and cursing when you've been made into a new creature. Does that mean we'll always speak righteous words at the right time, never lashing out in anger or impatience? No. James tells us in our key verse that no human being can tame the tongue. Verse 3 2 says, we all stumble in many ways. Anyone who is never at fault in what they say is perfect. What's the use in trying if no one can be perfect or tame the tongue? The emphasis shouldn't be placed on how far we fall short. Instead, we can focus on how far forward we can progress. When we obey God's word to become more like Christ, more like Jesus, we are being perfected. We are getting closer and closer to what Christ is like. We are not expecting perfection from ourselves, but by the grace of God, we are striving toward perfection. One little wise word at a time. A few weeks ago at bedtime, my 6-year-old daughter, Lucy, looked at me with her big chocolate chip eyes. Mommy, I appreciate how you say nice things to me. I appreciate that you help me love God and to do the right thing. She spoke slowly in that little 6-year-old cadence, and I savored every syllable. It was like a big hug to my soul, and in that moment, I felt fully appreciated and applauded. I pressed in tightly for a hug and thought in amazement, my little girl understands the value of words of affirmation. Lucy used her tongue for good. When I was around her age, words spoken to me sent me running to hide. But now my child's words empower me to mother strong another day. How have you been using your words lately? Your words carry great potential to harm or heal. Have you been building your loved ones up or pointing out their faults? Your tongue is a powerful weapon for good or evil. Wield it wisely today. Lord, I recognize my tongue is inherently evil and can easily be used to harm others. I give you my heart and ask you to refine my words. Help me speak life to those I see today. Give me specific words of encouragement to share with my family and friends. In Jesus' name, amen. And so here we are back. Still, is that Larry Jr.? No, that's me. It's me again. Okay. Well, I'm here alone right now, and hopefully Will show up again, and We'll continue. But while those words of encouragement still ring in our ears, the tongue is a powerful instrument. It can do good and heal, or it can do harm and hurt. And those things, as we talked about last week, the words that come out of our mouth, we are going to have to reconcile with in that final day, the day of judgment. And I know a lot of you may be thinking that, well, I didn't come here for church today. The point is every day is a church day. Every day is a day that God has given us that He really didn't have to give us. Only through by the grace of God we all continue to breathe His good air. Will is back. You here?
Good evening.
Hi.
Uh,
I'm trying to figure out why my name is up here twice in the window. Is I don't know what's going on. But anyway, did you talk to Jeanette?
yes, I did.
And what'd she say?
Well, she will not be able to attend today. She's having technical difficulties.
Okay.
It took so long, but I'm gonna try to get her squared away for next time.
Okay. Okay. So I hope she'll be listening. And I just went through the text from my book on the tongue, the fiery tongue.
Mhm.
Did you hear me or no?
I could barely hear you because
Oh,
you were in the background, but
okay. Okay. I'm not going to reread that, but it is the text is available in the book, which is a ebook, and it's on my website, www.theauthors with an S corner.online. So, and I think it's what $1.99. It's affordable. Put it that way.
everybody should get one.
Hopefully today. But anyway, um, so you're again talking about the power of the tongue and it being something that can heal or hurt. I know you probably had some experiences over your life and saying some things that hopefully were positive and encouraging, and then at some point in time saying things that were hurtful
Yeah, yeah.
to clarify your emotions at that moment.
Guilty as charged.
I know I've said some things that I wish I could have put it back. It don't work like that. But anyway, um, your thoughts, comments, or what?
Yeah, I mean the tongue is a very powerful, you know, tool. It could be used for good or it could be used for evil, and a lot of times it's used for evil as opposed to good. If we all like speak positivity to each other and try to uplift each other with kind words, and I mean, it don't necessarily have to be kind words, but it should be directed towards growth and development. So even when you critique somebody, it should be out of, hey, I want you to be better. I don't want you, I'm not trying to destroy you or crush your feelings and, make you feel like crud. But if you do feel like that, you know, it's not my intention. It's just a product of what's going on, and if I don't say anything, you know, you might have a harsher life, which will make you live worse than you would feel. And so I have to say something because I care, and when you realize that somebody's saying something because they care for you and they want you to be in a better position, then even though it may hurt, it's like, you know, I know they're telling me this because they want me to be in a better position and they don't want me to suffer. So I'm gonna just suck this up and drive on and keep that in my mind, fresh in my mind, and not just tuck it away and disregard it. So,
Well, it's a tough situation because, on the one hand, if you're trying to help somebody by instructing them in something like, for example, um, I'm now an author, so I write, but I take my writing personal.
mhm,
Now, I know English and I understand the language, but I'm not perfect in the language.
mhm,
Okay. And so some of the things that are, when you write, some of you act, it's a physical thing. I mean, yes, I could get software and just speak and it would transcribe the text. I'm not comfortable with that. But so I write with my hands. And sometimes my hands aren't as fast as my mind is. And so I might be typing and thinking, I got this, I got this, I got this. And then you skip a word or it automatically edited the word to something else. And now either you go back over it and you catch it or you don't. And so when somebody reads it, oh, you dropped that word. Oh, I didn't get that point. I was confusing. What were you talking about here? All kind of stuff like that. And you're like, well, damn, can't you read? No.
the emotional response. Yeah.
Right. That's how you feel about it.
Mhm,
But the point is that it's kind of a hard conversation to have with somebody who has put their heart into it, type of
mhm,
thing. Although it's necessary, because if no one tells you where you had made an error, you'll never know it. And everybody's standing back there, and you're trying to figure out what they're laughing at. You think they're laughing with you, but they're laughing at you.
mhm,
So yeah, it's a delicate situation. But you did point out a couple of things that are important. It's the intent behind the words. I'm trying to help you, and I'm trying to be considerate of your feelings, both at the same times, which is good. Even when you're angry with somebody, the thought should be, let me try to help you understand, or maybe I really don't understand what you're saying. Maybe I got it the wrong way, which is a
mhm,
whole different kind of conversation. You weren't clear in your wording, or you emphasized something, put a comma in the wrong place, whatever,
mhm,
and you just took it wrong. But if we try to, again, as men, black men, talking with younger people or even older people, women, whatever, to bear in mind that it's always an effort. I don't care how smart you really are or think you are, it's always an effort when you're communicating
mhm,
because stuff gets in the way. I mean, you could just blurt out whatever you're trying to say and think that it was clear in your head,
mhm,
but the other person missed a word.
mhm,
Hmm. Or they were distracted by something else they were thinking about and they didn't catch your point.
mhm,
And so now they feel in some kind of way, and you're looking at them all cross-eyed saying, well, why are you looking at me like that? You
mhm,
know? My last point would be during the course of the day, as you meet people, I think it's a good idea to try to be encouraging. You know,
mhm,
sometimes you don't know what kind of day people are having, you know, what they're facing, what they're going to be facing. And if it's someone you like, know, love, especially those that you love, you want to try to encourage them.
mhm.
It's always good. Yes, sometimes you got to criticize them. You got to straighten them out here. that kind of thing. But
It's out of love.
right, wake up.
Mm-hmm.
But then you want to give them some encouragement to let them know, listen, I'm trying to help you out here. So I'd rather, and this is a conversation I hope that a lot of folks are having with young black men. I really need to tell you the truth about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go out here with some other impression, you might find that everybody ain't on your side.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody ain't trying to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
And they may or may not have a valid reason for not liking you. Okay. So, yeah, you got to try to go the extra mile because you never know. You never know. Sometimes it just be that one good word that you said or that one, I don't understand. Could you explain it to me?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to explain it to me, okay. Started, oh, you're disrespecting me. Oh, I got to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a word with the wrong comma at the wrong side of it. What do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
You caught it wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, well, sticks and stones will break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's not true.
Yep.
Words will hurt you. Make you feel bad, make you look stupid, especially if you got them wrong.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in this day and age, when you say something and people hear it a certain way or whatever, it takes on a life of its own. It could cost you your career. It could cost you, your family. So words can hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot longer than the physical hurt. Of a stick and stone. Yeah.
Some people have been, in the news lately or whatever. You went on a tirade and complaining about this and complaining about that. Oh, you peoples and this type of thing. You don't know these peoples. You might be upset with the one in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
You might be upset with the one you just left behind you. That doesn't give you a license to just dribble all over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be concerned because you wouldn't want that to happen to you.
Yep.
Somebody run up on you and they mad at somebody else and they want to start talking about your mother or whatever like that. You don't know my mother.
Yep.
I mean, I had to tell you the truth. I almost killed a fool over talking about my mother.
I hear that.
And I was like, listen, you need to have more respect for your own mother.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you had more respect for your own mother, you wouldn't be talking about anybody else's mother negatively, whether you knew her or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Some things, there ain't no sense of saying nothing about that. It ain't going to help. It ain't going to make a difference. But yeah, so I mean, I've had my bout with words coming out of my mouth and hearing words come out of other people's mouths that you just kind of like shake your head, man. You can't be serious.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who you're talking to. Because I ain't joking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might be trying to get a rise and wind up getting your butt kicked.
Mm-hmm.
You just trying to be, oh, I'm all this and that there. Yep.
Say it a little bit closer to me. Yep. A little bit closer and say that.
Yeah. I tell them, step.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good step. Ain't nothing between me and you but air and opportunity.
That's right.
But anyway, no sense in getting
campaigning for this butt whooping, you're gonna get elected.
You're gonna get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm being hurt. It scares me how bad I'm gonna hurt you.
That's why I don't want to do it, but I will do it.
I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to understand that. Listen, they didn't create this planet for you. They created it for us. Mm-hmm. You stay on your side, I'll stay on my side. We be good. We'll bring their foolishness over here. It's a disease that just can't be cured. I don't want to catch it. So anyway, so Jeanette is going to try to come next week.
Well, I'm gonna try to work through the technical difficulties and try to get her on the next available show. So
Well, you got to let her know we have a what they call that. How do they put that? No vulgar words.
Oh, I'll try to pass that message on.
Let's try to keep it to a minimum.
We'll try to keep it PG.
Yeah, the PG type thing. But I understand grown folks got to talk. I understand.
Yeah.
We have a mute button.
Right.
Don't take it personal.
It kind of doesn't work on live though. Once it slip out, it's there.
Listen, well, yeah, that one. The next one is going to be cut off. I invited all my friends, and then you just cut me off. Yep. But anyway, no, she's funny, and she's funny. I could put her up against Red Fox. I could put her up against Moms Mabley. I could put her up against Richard Pryor. I mean, Jeanette, get going. You don't want to be in front of that. Even if you're the subject of it, you don't want to be in front of it. I was talking to her the other week, boy. She had me crying up in here. I wouldn't talk about nothing, big. It's just, how she talk and how she explains stuff. You'd be like, I got you. I understand what you're talking about here. But anyway, so listen, I need you to make your announcement because we're coming up on a half hour, and this may just be a half-hour show.
Okay. Well, for all our viewers out there, we appreciate you viewing. We would like to extend the opportunity to make recommendations for topics that you would like to hear us discuss. Please send it to our comment section. If you'd like to be a participant on the show, of course, we have to go through some vetting. So send your email and the topic and everything that you want us to take under consideration. And we'll see about getting you onto the show in the future.
Good. Yeah, we're going to try to open up a little bit, because I think, it's important that, we can talk, which is fine. But sometimes people have questions about things or experiences that they've had that have blown up in their face, or some things that they may be looking at that might blow up in their face. So, how should I handle this? And I'm not saying what we have to offer is the correct answer, but at least it's something to consider, or something that, no, I ain't going to do that. That's just not going to work for me.
Yeah. Knowing what options are out there are probably the best thing in the world to have, because if you see that some people made these choices and this is what happened, and other people made these choices and this is what happened, now you have pretty much a way to disseminate which way you want to go about it. You got choices.
Yeah. I mean, you can't operate in a vacuum. A lot of us do operate in a vacuum, just because we don't have anybody to bounce things off on, or the person that we have just doesn't get us. Men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and that's pretty much true. I'm not going to say that out loud. Sometimes it's like that. You be like, this is what it is. I'm trying to explain it to you, and you're just not getting it. You talk to a woman, it's all over. Man, it's all over. There's no boundaries. Okay, let me try to stay in my lane and deal with it as it comes. Anyway, okay, let's cut this show. We'll chat a little bit, then see how it goes. All right?
Okay.
So thank you. God bless you. And we'll talk to you next week, God willing, and the creek don't rise.
God bless.